Babcock era.
But we never really talked about it all the time as the core four. We said
absolutely we did. What are you talking about?
Okay, like I think here's the thing. Like we talked about having the guys being signed, right? We can and we will. That's kind of where that first idea of having a bunch of guys signed to big ticket contracts, but it wasn't to the degree that it was when Nylander signed, and you have all 4 guys making 10+ million. That's where I feel like it got a little bit blown.
No, I'm gonna we'll agree to disagree. Core 4 has been a thing for when Brad Treliving took the job on day 1. That was before Nylander signed. He said, "I hate the core 4 talk. You guys got to stop with the core 4 talk and get rid of it."
Maybe that's where it was.
Nylander was making $6 million at that point.
So then core 4 would have been more of a 2023 because that's when when Treliving came in. Right?
Yeah, but he said it needs to stop because it was pre that it was being talked about. Anyways, this is besides the point.
Yeah.
Complete semantics argument. The point is, I still don't think that conversation is dead. Like, I think someone just takes over, and there's still going to be conversations about there being 3-4 guys who are going to have to lead the charge. I still think that is going to be part of the conversation. So I don't think core 4 is dead. I think that conversation will still be very much alive, and I don't think that people are going to stop talking about Mitch Marner either. But still, I think that it would be best if the Leafs come out and move on. I don't think the fan base is going to, but the Leafs have to. The team has to, because he's not there and he's not walking through the door. And they're gonna have to, do best with what they have. Now, we've both talked about this a lot throughout the summer, that they've done a pretty good job filling that role, not necessarily Marner specifically, but they've built out the depth. And Treliving even said, like, yeah, Marner's gone. That's 100 points to fill. We feel like the 3 guys that we brought in to replace that could make up for those 100 points collectively. And that's what they're going to try and do. It's going to have to be collective. It's going to have to be the whole team. Matthews maybe get back to his 60-goal season. Matthew Nyes take a step forward. Maybe Nicky Bobby figures it out. Bobby McMahon gets a little bit more consistency within his game. I think the team feels like they are prepared with what they've done. Feels like it's going to be different for sure. Will it be better? Remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm. All right, I will apologize. Yes, I am finding references back in 2019. So you were.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It only started last 2 years. I'm like, that happened like when Tavares signed his deal.
Yeah, I think it was more so 2020 is likely where
it was when all 3 of them signed, and then all 4 players were under contract. But anyways.
But yeah, I do think, look, when you think about championship teams, it went from having the dynamic duo to then you're having like you need to have an established core, but it's not. I guess what they're trying to say is not. It doesn't take 4 players to win. It takes
a team,
an entire team. It takes a 23-man roster. It takes all 20 guys that are going to be on the ice each and every night. I think that's what Brad Treliving, I think, has been trying to change ever since he arrived in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
He's been trying to make it less about, well, you're not going to make it less about the star players, but he is trying to put the onus on more than just the star players.
Yes.
To do it. And boy, we found out that he put the onus on quite a few people.
Yes, he did. He's asking more of a lot of guys, obviously, and that has to happen when you lose a Mitch Marner, right? Like, everyone needs to pull up their weight a little bit in order to even it all out. And the one guy specifically that was talked about today that he kind of pointed at, who he had a tough conversation with, that needs to have a big bounce back season, was Morgan Riley. Let's come back and talk about that conversation, because they both spoke about it today at Media Day. So have that discussion. Where's Austin Matthews at health-wise coming into the season? And what did Craig Berube have to say about what went down today? So all that more coming up later on the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL is here, and FanDuel is making sure that you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel. Allows you to bet on player props, same-game parlays, futures bets, live bets. It's got it all. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your favorite team or you're just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy, it's the best way to add a little bit more energy to those Sundays. So you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Welcome back into the Locked On Leafs podcast. Mike DeStefano, Dave Morsuti with you as we are each and every weekday, Monday through Friday on the Locked On Leafs podcast, available wherever you get a podcast. It's all Leafs all the time. So if you want to be locked into what's happening on a daily basis in Leaf land, you're part of Leafs Nation, got to be locked in to the Locked On Leafs podcast. Again, available wherever you get a podcast and also on YouTube. There was quite the conversation apparently that was had between Brad Treliving and Morgan Rielly last offseason. And obviously, Morgan Rielly saw a dip in his play last year. There was a noticeable decline, and it wasn't just the fan base and us that noticed it. Obviously, Brad Treliving, Craig Berube, and Morgan Rielly himself realized it as well. What kind of stood out to you about the conversation surrounding that discussion that Brad Treliving and Morgan Rielly had? What did you take away from what they had to say about it?
Well, just the flat out that there was a conversation that what the level that Morgan Rielly was playing is not the level he's capable of, and he needs to get back to that level. It's sometimes those are the difficult conversations, but guess what? That's what Brad Treliving gets paid the big money to have, right? With all these players signed, when you have a Morgan Rielly being paid what he's being paid, you can't accept anything less than what he's being paid for, right? Like, it's just, and we talked about it so much that maybe it was a lack of of a fit with Craig Berube, but clearly maybe that's it seems like that's not really what they believe. They just believe that Rielly just didn't play to his standard. And look, he came into camp, I think it was 6 pounds later.
Yep.
Came in. Yep. We've heard from Nicolas Waugh saying he's in incredible shape. Clear, and Treliving said he took it to heart what he had to say. Like, he didn't, Treliving didn't go to him and say, "Look, you need to be better," and Rielly didn't go, "Oh, like how could you say that to me? Maybe I need to get and find and move on and get another a better situation for myself." No, he took it hard. Said, "Okay, I need to be better. I need to go out and do it." And we'll see if what was said will lead to it on the ice.
And honestly,